Hey, buddy, why are you sitting alone in an empty restaurant?
Just having my coffee. Why?
I passed by a few times. You've been here a while. Looks like you're casing the place.
That's funny, because I'm the owner of this place. I have been for 8 years.
He walked into a diner, sat down in his usual booth, poured his morning coffee, and a 9-month rookie cop walked in and accused him of casing the place. The man he was accusing had owned that restaurant for 8 years. Comment below what country you are watching from, because this one is going to stay with you. Marcus Lawson was 37 years old and had spent the last 8 years building something from nothing. He left a stable accounting job in his late 20s to honor a dream his father never got to live. His father, Louis, had always wanted to own a restaurant. Marcus took that dream and made it real. He renamed the place Lou's Diner, poured 8 years of his life into it, and turned a failing establishment into a neighborhood institution on the Del Mar Loop in St. Louis. He employed 12 people. He had a degree from Washington University. He had a business license, a health department certificate, and a liquor license, all framed on the wall behind the register, all of them with his name on them. That Tuesday morning in April, Marcus arrived at 6 to prep for breakfast service. By 9:45, the last breakfast customer had gone. His cook was prepping in the back. His server would not arrive until 10:45. Marcus poured himself a coffee, settled into his usual booth near the front window where he could watch the street, and pulled out his phone to check emails and scroll through messages before the lunch rush started. He was wearing a gray sweatshirt and jeans. He was relaxed because he was in his own space, a place he built, owned, and controlled for 8 years. Officer Trevor Holloway was 9 months out of the academy, 9 months since graduating with average marks and an evaluation that flagged concerns about his judgment under pressure. His training officer had noted twice that Holloway made assumptions based on appearance rather than behavior. Those flags were written down and then ignored, because St. Louis PD was short on officers and could not afford to wash out recruits who technically passed minimum requirements. So Holloway was cleared for solo patrol and assigned to the Del Mar Loop 3 weeks earlier. That morning, Holloway was driving his route when he passed Lou's Diner and saw a black man sitting alone in a quiet restaurant. He drove past once. The man was still there. He drove past again. Still there. Holloway's mind started building a story. Is this place even open? Why is he alone? Is he casing it for later? His training had taught him to notice anomalies, but had never taught him to separate actual suspicious behavior from normal human existence. His unexamined biases filled in the rest. He parked out front and walked in. "Hey, buddy, why are you sitting alone in an empty restaurant?" Marcus looked up, kept his voice calm. "Just having my coffee. Why?" Holloway stepped further in, scanning the room. "I passed by a few times. You have been here a while. Looks like you were casing the place." Marcus felt the familiar exhaustion of being presumed guilty just for existing. "No, I'm just enjoying my drink." Holloway's next words landed like a brick. "I know the owner, and he does not trust people like you hanging around. Let me see your ID." "People like you?" Marcus kept his composure tight. "I do not have to give you ID without cause." Holloway's hand moved toward his belt. "Then stand up. I'm not playing around." Marcus leaned back and let the moment land. "That's funny, because I'm the owner of this place. I have been for 8 years. Holloway did not believe him. He demanded proof. Marcus pointed to the wall, the framed magazine article with his photo, the business license, the health department certificate, the liquor license, all of them bearing the name Marcus Lawson, owner. Holloway glanced at them and said they could be fake. Marcus looked at him and asked why anyone would fake official city documents with state seals and signatures just to sit in a diner drinking coffee. Holloway had no answer, so he called his supervisor. Sergeant Patricia Owens was a 19-year veteran who had seen every kind of rookie mistake. She walked into Lou's Diner, looked around at the lights on, the coffee brewing, the kitchen sounds, the unlocked door, and turned to Holloway with an expression that said everything. She checked the licenses on the wall. She pulled up the public business records on her phone. She turned back to Holloway and told him directly, "He is the owner. The licenses are right there. Public records confirm it. You stopped a business owner in his own restaurant based on nothing." Marcus stood up from the booth and told Sergeant Owens exactly what had happened, that Holloway had looked through that window, saw him, and decided he must be doing something criminal, that he claimed to know the owner when he had never set foot in the place, that he demanded ID without cause and refused to spend 30 seconds verifying the truth, and that when Marcus told him he owned the restaurant, Holloway called him a liar, and that none of this was rookie inexperience. This was racial bias operating in uniform. The security footage captured everything. The business community heard the story by afternoon. News outlets called by evening. Marcus hired an attorney within 2 days. The lawsuit named Holloway, his training officer, and St. Louis Metropolitan Police and argued that staffing pressure had put an undertrained, biased officer on the street before he was ready. The city settled for $650,000. Holloway was terminated 4 months after the incident. The letter said he racially profiled a business owner in his own establishment, refused to verify easily accessible information, and demonstrated judgment failures that made him unsuitable for law enforcement. His career ended at 9 months. His name entered the National Decertification Index. He did not appeal. Marcus testified at City Council and told them $650,000 is what one bad assumption costs taxpayers, but the real cost is the message it sends, that even with licenses on the wall and 8 years of work, you still have to prove you belong in the space you created. Drop a like if this story hit different, and tell me in the comments whether 9 months is anywhere near enough time before an officer should ever patrol alone.